Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Very Dead Gaming. I'm Very Dead, and this is me playing some Elite Dangerous today. And the focus of today's show is engineering, how to do it like a boss, how to be the most efficient, get what you need without wasting time, a lot of back and forth travel, easier ways to track your materials, add some good external software to use to kind of aid in the entire engineering process. I think the biggest drawback to engineering, besides the people waiting to do it until right before they want, waiting to gather materials right before they want to engineer, I think the other thing is just the sheer mass of what you need, and it can be overwhelming. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about how to organize yourself and get what you want without a lot of frustration and nonsense. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to look at is INARA.cz. It's a website. Let me just pull it up right here. They have a very, very nice engineering section, and this is where you're going to get started. You can also, before I go there, before I jump the gun, we'll get back to INARA in a second. Let's take a look in-game on kind of the module panel, the status panel. If you look over here, this is kind of your home screen. If you go up to engineers, it will show you, like, you can sort by access level, by name, and by distance from you. I'm going by access level. These are the engineers that I've unlocked, and these little icons right here tell you what access level you have. So I have grade 5 because I have 5 of these little hexagons. These little flags mean that you have a blueprint pinned, so that when you're remote to wherever the engineer is, you can go and remotely engineer up to whatever grade level you have. You cannot, however, apply experimental effects. So let's take a look. Let's say I wanted to engineer a shield generator. Now, currently, I'm way the heck out of the bubble, so I'm 18,000 light years away from Laxac, where Li Chung is based out of. And what this will give you is a biography of the engineer. It tells you where he's at, what his allegiance is, what his specializations are, and then this is how you learn, I gain access to him. If you don't yet have access, let's say this is unchecked, you need to get 200 units of gold, go buy it, and then you just go sell it to him. And then he will give you access to his blueprints, and you can engineer your shield boosters and shield generators. And it's the same for all of them. And there, you can see there's quite a few. There's only 2 that I haven't any access to yet at all: Bell Brandon and Zechariah Nemo. And I have access to everybody else. A few I haven't unlocked, like, because they're redundant, or there's other engineers that you can get unlocked to do the same thing. So that's where you can find them. You can view your blueprints, you can view the system and then go there, but it's pretty limited as far as helping you engineer anything. So we're gonna jump out of that. I'm gonna go right back to INARA. Now that we've talked about the basics, INARA is really gonna be your base of operations. This is a great engine. This is the main engineering screen. So let's say you go to INARA.cz. I'll show you how to get there. INARA.cz. All right. So you go there. You can make an account or not. Then you're gonna go under Galaxy, and then you have all these community goals, commodities, shipyard, outfitting, engineering, blah blah blah. Okay, so engineering. if you don't have any engineers unlocked, this is a great, let's say, all right, you're going to have, I think Elvira is, she's the default. She's just always unlocked. You can go to her and then rank her up, and then that'll get some other things. But let's say you want to get a grade 5 power distributor. I want to engineer that. So you go to the dweller, you click on that, and over here it'll tell you this is how you unlock him. You have to pay him 500,000 credits. So he's not that tough to unlock. And then his system is weird, and his base is black hide. So what you'll do is bring him 500,000 credits and bring the ship with the power distributor in it, and then you'll be able to very easily then engineer it. You go to the engineering section of the base, and it's very straightforward. And that's the easiest part of engineering. Now, okay, so let's say you want to do a charge enhanced power distributor. So you click on that, and now it tells you right here everything you need for a grade 1, a grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, and grade 5. So it tells you, all right, so for a grade 1, I need 1 specialized legacy firmware. Now, if you're just unlocking him, and it's the first time you're engineering with the engineer, it's going to take 3 to 4 rolls. You're going to have to engineer this thing 3 to 4 times to max it out and to unlock grade 2. And then again, 3 to 4 times of engineering grade 2 to unlock grade 3. So you're always going to need 3 to 4 specialized legacy firmware. And this is only for the first time you're going to kind of upgrade your access. And then what you'll do is you'll go all the way through to grade 5, and you'll max it out. Now, you also have experimental effects. And I won't read all the details, but then you can pick, let's say you want super conduits. And it helps speed up the recharge rate. And it's going to cost you 5 phosphorus, 3 heat-resistant ceramics, and 1 security firmware pack. So those are all the materials you'll need to get it done. Well, you can go through and engineer one module at a time, and that's perfectly fine way to do it. That it takes a while. You're going to gather materials as you go, but it can be daunting, and everything's all over the place. And what I tend to like to do is, when I'm not engineering and I'm just playing the game, I like to keep track of the materials that I have, and any chance I get to stock up on materials, I stock up on materials. So what I do is, let's say I am jumping to another system to do some trade. Well, I jump into that system. Let's say it's 8 jumps to get there. And I just decide ahead of time, a couple of those systems, I'm going to go to the navigation beacon and I'm going to scan it. And then I'm going to check the system for high grade emissions. That's a place where you get rare materials for engineering. And if there happen to be 1 or 2 or 3 in the system, I will kind of divert myself. I'll just go gather the materials. There's no risk to you. They're always empty, but they always have really rare, very good materials that you're going to need for engineering. So you go gather those, and then be on your way. It maybe will divert you 10 minutes in a gaming session, but if you do it every time you game, grab 3 high-grade emissions or 4 or 5, but don't make it the focus of your gameplay. It's just one of those things where now, by a couple of weeks go by, and you're pretty well maxed out on all the rare high manufactured materials. Planetary landings, same thing. I always like to bring with, just when I'm playing generally, and again, it depends on your playstyle, but I will bring along an SRV in just about every ship that I have, so that when I am near a planet and I check in the galaxy map and I see in the in the system map, hey, look, this planet has a high concentration of rare materials. well, I'll just go land on it and maybe prospect for an hour. And so I don't usually plan on doing it, but or a half an hour or whatever, and see what I can find. And then I'll be back on my way and I'll go do some trading. If you're into pirating, well, maybe not pirating, because pirating, you're not supposed to destroy the ships that you're stealing from. You're only supposed to steal from them. So let's say you are doing bounty hunting. That's better. Bring with you some collector limpets and a limpet controller, so that every ship that you destroy, you can collect all the materials that they drop. And there's a lot. They drop a ton. The other thing that I will do, and I don't normally do this, but it's always good to every now and then, when you're going to dock or you're heading out of a station, just scan all the ships that are near you, like right in front of you. There's usually 2 or 3 right in front of you. Scan them real quick, and it will drop some data material for you. And you'd be surprised at how much, if you just make that a habit, you will gather a ton of necessary materials later when you do decide to do some engineering. So back to INARA. So here we look at, so I've drilled down to a blueprint. It shows what I need. You can make a crafting list. You can view the components that you're missing. So it'll tell you, all right, I need 10 selenium, 6 tin, 26 conductive polymers. So you just go down the list. It tells you everything you need. But it'll also tell you what you can trade for. There's this list, so you can use a materials trader to trade for what you need. It's all really, really nice. I've found that what works better for me is a combination of INARA and another piece of software. I'm just gonna put this up here for you. I will put this link for you guys. It's EDENGINEER, and here it is in all its glory. This is a fantastic. This runs on your desktop. It's a Windows based, so but it also will link live to your game if you turn the API on. So anytime you gather materials, it will update here, so you can at a glance see all the materials you have on this panel. It's got your materials, your data. It'll show your ship loadout. It's really fantastic. On this other side, you have all of your blueprint types. So let's say I want to do a frame shift drive. It tells me right away how many I can craft. I can only do 6 of a grade 5 FSD. So that's a few short. Probably gonna need to go gather a few more materials, and it looks like it's the data mined wake exceptions that I'm running short on. So I would want to probably go get about 10 of those. That way I would be guaranteed to roll the highest roll on my frame shift drive. It has all of them, and now look, and it has deep. These are your kind of your special effects that you can put on afterwards. So you engineer it, and then you put on your specials. So deep charge, if you are in a small ship, deep charge will give you a longer range. And if you, let's say if you're just going for long range, and then if you're in a really big ship, mass manager is the way to go. It will give you the longest range. So this is a great piece of software. It really will help you stay organized. Now, the real great part of this software is how it ties in the live game, and also how it ties into another website I want to show you, which is here. It's Coriolis.io, and this is where you're going to figure out what you need for the ships that you want. This little offline thing here is you build your ship. You can build it to spec. It has everything you need. So I'll just go. Let's say I want to build a Crate Mark II. All right. And I want to make it into mining ship. So I'm going to get rid of all the stuff that's there. Don't need that. Don't need that. And let's also say that I'm not gonna mine in open. It's just gonna be in solo, so I don't have to worry about other commanders coming after me. And I'm gonna play like a cowardly miner, and I'm only gonna run from pirates. So I'm not gonna need to engineer anything too much, but I'm gonna use the lightweight alloy, and I'm gonna engineer it for heavy duty and deep plating to give my ship a little bit more hull integrity. The power plant, I'm not going to need a big one. I'm going to start with a 6D, and I'm going to engineer it. Say I'm going to go a grade 3 overcharged, but I'm going to strip it down so it's lighter weight. Then the thrusters, I want to go fast because I'm going to be core mining, so I'm going to go 6A, and I'm going to use dirty drives, grade 5, and drag drives. And what it does is, you'll see now it shows me my maximum speed. There's my pathetic jump range. Because I'm going to be doing core mining, I need to get away from the central bubble a little bit. I need to be able to jump 5 or 6 long jumps to kind of get out of the center of things to find some rings that haven't been mined. So I'm going to do a 5A frame shift with increased range, and I'm going to do mass manager. And now all of a sudden I have a 35 light year jump range. This ship. I'm gonna lightweight my life support. I'm going to go with what I'd say a 6D distributor. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna engine focus it, and I'm gonna strip it down so it's lightweight. And now we're looking at a 40 light year jump range. And you can already see how powerful this is. It's much quicker to come up with a ship than using the in-game method, and you can experiment with what you want to do. All right, sensors. Again, I'm going to go 6D. I don't need long-range sensors, and I'm going to lightweight. And now I'm at 43 light years. I'm going to go with a smaller fuel tank. Now I'm at just 45.5 light years. Now, it's going to come down because I need to add some optionals. So first of all, for my hard points, I'm going to leave the large ones empty. And if I'm core mining, I'm going to use all the way down to the bottom. It has everything you need in the game. So I'm going to need a seismic charge launcher, and I'm going to need an abrasion blaster. And they have removed, I think, the exploit where if you had multiple abrasion blasters, you'll get more like void opals from the cores. So you just need one abrasion blaster. There it is. Okay. So then I'm going to also use, because I'm mining. Now, again, I'm just doing this off the top of my head. It doesn't have to be a mining ship. You can make whatever you want. I'm going to do a long-range pulse analyzer. And let me see. We need, or what are we going to need? We're going to need a refinery. There it is. I'm going to just do 1D. We only need 1 bin because we're core mining. Then we also need prospector limpet, and again I'm going to do 1D. We need 1. Then what I'm going to do is collector limpets. We need a collector limpet. There it is. I'm going to go with the 3A. I think it gives you the best range. And then I think I need a shield generator, so I'm going to go like a 4A. I can do it. And the great thing about it is it'll tell you whether you can use it or not. They'll be blocked off if you can. So 4A shield generator. I'm going to engineer that and say reinforced and strip down. Because again, you're not going to need a ton of shields because I'm already really fast. I can run from just about any NPC pirate. Okay, so now I have shields. I have limpets. What else do I need? I need cargo racks. So I'm going to go, because you got to carry your cargo. So I'm going to go, there you go. Okay, so now what else do I need? I need a fuel scoop. I don't actually need a fuel scoop, but if you want to save yourself from going insane, get a fuel scoop. All right, so there, got a 5A fuel scoop. And let me see, I think that's my cargo capacity is, where is it at? It's here. 128 tons. That's a lot. That's going to take you about an hour to fill for void opals, and it's going to get you over 200 million credits. So you don't really need any other. You could put an extra cargo rack in there, or you could do, I think I have a refinery. You could also go with, if you have the Guardian stuff unlocked, you could go to FSD booster, which would be really kind of great, because if you look at it, frameshift drive booster, look at that range now. 53 light years in a mining ship. Now you can get out there and find those pristine areas. Now, okay, so anyways, enough about the ship, because we're not talking about mining. Now what we're talking about is engineering. So I've done some engineering on some stuff, right? So let's say this is the ship I want to make, that I'm happy with the build, and it's exactly what I want to do. So then you're going to go right here, and you click on materials needed for this build. Okay, and then you tell it how many rolls are you going to use. And so I'm going to go 3 for grade 1 and grade 2, 4 for grade 3, 4 for grade 4, and then 10 for grade 5, because grade 5 takes frickin' a lot of rolls to get to the top. They always do. So now what it does is it adds up all the materials that I need to engineer all of the engineered stuff on this ship. Now I can send it to, remember I had EDENGINEER running on my desktop? I can send it there. So I just sent it. Now let me pull up EDENGINEER so you can take a look. And amazingly, look at that. I now have a shopping list. It shows these are all the things that I'm going to engineer. And here is my shopping list. It tells me how many more I need. It tells me where I can get this one, and this one from a material trader from trading materials I already have. The only things I need to go looking for are improvised components and selenium. So that's a grade 5 and that's a grade 4. So now all you need to do is figure out, well, how the heck do I find improvised components? Where do I find those? But the thing I want you to remember here is that you've got, I just randomly play the game. I have 90% of everything, maybe 95% of everything I need already. And this, of the 5 materials that I don't have, I can trade for 3 of them, and I only have to go looking for 2. So what would have initially seemed very daunting and almost too complicated to attempt is now fairly straightforward and easy. I only need to get 8 improvised components and 8 selenium. Well, selenium is fairly easy to find. And I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Okay, so I now know what I need, with the materials I need in order to engineer my ship the way I want to do it. So I'm going to go back to INARA. Back to INARA. And back to INARA. And now I need to find a material. So I need to figure out selenium. Okay, so here's selenium. All right, I need that, right? So I'm going to just click on selenium. All right, and even if you hover it, it says you can find this from surface prospecting or a mission reward. So your 2 options here are either go into the mission board and look for missions that give you selenium as a reward, which is a very viable way of doing it. The rewards are usually pretty good, but it's hit or miss, it's random. Or you can go find a planet that has a high selenium content and go with your SRV and prospect for it. Those are your two options. Either or, since you only need 8, it's not going to take very long. You maybe have to run 2 missions. The trick will be finding the missions. And you can just jump around to different systems randomly until you find it, or you can just go to, if you're going to go surface prospecting, you want to find a planet, go to EDDB.io. This is, again, making engineering very easy. You're going to go to bodies. You are going to look for selenium. You just type that in. Selenium. And let's say I'm near Sol. Okay? And it can be whatever system you're in, just type it in here. And then what it'll do is when you do the search, and it's searching, what it's going to do is give you a list with the planets that have a selenium content that are nearby where you're at. And here we go. So look at this. In Sol, this planet has a, here, and this is the other thing you want to do. So you don't even have to leave Sol. You can just go to these planets and you can then go mine. You can go prospect for your selenium on the surface. Or if you want to get one that has a little bit more, we're going to see what the maximum, I'm just sorting by the percentage of selenium on the planet. Okay, so almost 5% in LHS 417, and it's planet 9 EA. And it's only 26 light years away. So you could go and you're going to get your 8 selenium in less than a half an hour. Surface of that planet. And then you can then go look for the other thing that you need, which is, what was that other thing we need? Improvised components. This one is high grade emissions or a mission reward. So let's just take a look at improvised components. And it's they're very rare. And then if you hover over high grade emissions, it'll tell you that you can find these in independent space, systems in boom, outbreak war, civil war, or civil unrest state. There's a higher chance in civil unrest systems. So what you'll do is you'll go to the galaxy map. Go to the galaxy. Now I am nowhere near the bubble at the moment. So here, let me just zoom out. So I'm way out here. There's the bubble. So let's get back into the. All right. So what we'll do is you'll go in here and you will sort. I was sorting by star class, but what you're going to sort by is state. And we're going to say civil unrest, civil war. Let's get rid of election, incursion, and civil liberty. All right. So now, oh here, and I want to hide stuff. Nation markers. Let's just get all this stuff off. Okay, so now you can see I've got these systems. If I highlight that, you can see it's in civil war. And here, let me go civil unrest. So just sort it by civil unrest. All right, now civil unrest seems to be a little harder to come by. I'm not finding any civil unrest, so... Oh, there's one right over there. Alright, so... You could go and here's your civil unrest status. And all you have to do is go to that system, and when you get in that system, you're going to find the navigation beacon, which is near the star. You'll find it on your map, or on your system panel, and then you're just going to go there, and when you just throttle down to 0, select the navigation beacon, wait for it to scan, then go back to Super Cruise, and then what you're going to do, exit out of this, you're going to go, this is your system panel, and the nav beacon would be somewhere in here, and then what you're going to do is you're going to set your filters, and you're going to sort by signal sources, and then go back. Now, the system I'm in has no signal sources, but in this panel, you would have signal sources, and you are looking for high-grade emissions. So you're in that civil unrest system, and you're looking for high-grade emissions. And your system may or may not have one. It may have 3, it may have 4. It may have some that the timer is too short and you're never going to get to it. What'll happen is they'll show up and you only have so much time to get to them. But there will never be any enemies in them, and it'll be like a blown-up ship, and then there will be your materials. And so what you do is you're just going to jump in and out of a bunch of systems and look for those. Now, if you don't want to do it while you're just do it all at once. Maybe you want to do some bounty hunting, and then you're jumping from system to system bounty hunting. Well, when you're jumping in between those systems, that's when you want to look for the high-grade emissions. You just check each system, and if you find them, then you stop. If you don't, you just keep going. And you go and then do your bounty hunting, and then when you're going to jump to the next has-res or whatever you're going to do, in between those jumps, those are where you're just going to, as you play, you're just going to check for the high-grade emissions. That's how you do it. Those are the tools you're going to use. If you use them, it makes engineering much more straightforward. You're not going to waste a lot of time, and you're not going to seem like you're spending all your time gathering materials. There's a couple of tricks that you can always do. Usually you're going to have, unless you're really you've really optimized your ship for a specific purpose, you're going to have a couple of slots where you could put whatever you want in. If you know that you don't have you don't have a lot of data, then what you can do is you can put like a wake scanner on, or like a high wake, and then you basically just scan them to get your materials. So there's a whole bunch of stuff you can do, and instead of sitting somewhere and for hours scanning wakes, what you do is you just have one on your ship, and whenever you're flying in Super Cruise and you see some high wakes, just quick scan them while you're flying. It takes a couple of seconds to just divert and then be back on your way, and you'll start to accumulate data. That's the way you should do it, because when you finally do come around to engineer, like I haven't done any specific gathering for engineering at all, and you saw, off the top of my head, we decided to make a crate mining ship, and in EDENGINEER it shows me I have pretty much all the materials already for what I wanted to engineer. So there's your proof that that method works really well, because I don't specifically go gathering materials for engineering, and yet I have a ton of stuff, because whenever I have the opportunity, I gather materials. Every time I destroy, let's say someone's trying to steal from me, an NPC, they want some of my cargo. If I have weapons and I destroy them, I don't just leave. I see what they dropped from, when the ship explodes, it drops materials. I always gather anything of value that I don't already have. And even if they're grade 1 materials, if I'm not completely full up on them, I gather them. Same thing with, like, I'm on an exploration mission way, way out in the galaxy right now. So yeah, I'm way here. I am way out here. I'm just back it out so you can see. And the bubble's in here. There's the bubble. That's where I'm at. So you can see I'm way out here, but what I do is, I'm this exploration ship. But what I do is, if I go to the system map, take a look. All right, look, here's some landable planets. You can take a look, and you don't even have to really leave the game. You can just select it, and it'll tell you what's on it. Oh, look, I need antimony, and that I can land on that planet and go grab it. Niobium, that's another rare one. So this might be a good planet to go land on and do some prospecting for a bit. This one, it's got more antimony, molybdenum, germanium. You know, there again, this one has a little bit more antimony, so maybe I'd go to that one. And yttrium is another rare one that you're going to need a lot of if you're engineering weapons and such. So you might as well. I'm out here. I spend hours jumping and scanning planets. Every now and then I'll stop and spend an hour prospecting. You know, just an hour. Nothing too much of a grind. And just to kind of change it up a bit. And then I jump back in and I explore some more systems. And if I find anything interesting to land on that has some materials that I'm looking for, I just go ahead and land, and I'll gather materials for, 45 minutes or so. And so, you get 30, 40 elements, and then move on. And, maybe a couple of days later, I'm playing again, and I decide to do it. So always remember, that's how you're going to engineer things. And now, as far as the most important thing in engineering is the materials. Always. It's always the materials. Without it, it's going to be a real hassle. And if you're not gathering as you go, it's going to seem impossible. It's like, oh, I need 30 rolls to get a grade 5 this. You know how many materials that's going to take? And then you go out and then you just start gathering them, and then you can't find. And this is the thing about Elite Dangerous. Whatever you need, really, really need, you will never find. You just can never find it. The only time you find it is when you're not looking for it, and then you just happen upon it, and that's the way the game works. So that's pretty much all there is to it for engineering. I'll post the links below. I'd like to hear your comments about it. If you have any other tips that I didn't cover here, feel free to put it in the comments. If you like the stream, please follow and subscribe. I'm always looking for more engagement from you guys, and I definitely like to see you in the chats. Let me know how using EDENGINEER works for you, how INARA works for you, and I'd love to see some of the ships that you've engineered. So if, go ahead and post links to your in Coriolis if you want to. I'd love to see them. And I hope you guys use all these tools. I use them every day when I'm engineering, when I'm building ships, when I'm trying to optimize the ships that I already have. It's really a great way to go about doing it. It's efficient, it's focused, and it allows you then to get into just playing. And EDENGINEER is probably my favorite, because I can see, if you have multiple screens, you can kind of keep it up on the screen when you're playing, and you can just, in real time, you can see how many materials you have, and you can like, oh, look, I only needed 5 of those. All right, well, that's all I needed. I'm done. I'm gonna move on. Or look, I have 100% of all of these materials. I don't need to even bother looking for them anymore, and it just kind of helps you tune your gameplay a little bit. And I encourage you to explore INARA. I just barely touched the surface of it. There is so much information there for you to look through. There's components, there's blueprints, synthesis, outfitting. They have a shipyard you can see. So you can look at all the ship's details. You have if you create an account, it'll show you everything about your account. It'll show you your ships, everything that you have. It's really a fantastic resource. It's all the stuff that really should be accessible in the game that isn't. So I really encourage you guys to use it. And again, let me know how it goes for you. I'd definitely like to hear. And if you have any other ideas. So that's going to do it for the stream today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys on Thursday. Remember, I'm streaming Tuesdays and Thursdays. between 9. I start between 9 and 9:30 Pacific time, and I will definitely see you guys on Thursday. We're gonna do something a little different. No engineering, and I don't know. Maybe some exploration. Maybe some. I'm building a new ship, and it's a hull tank, and I've never really flown a ship like it before, and I think it's going to be fun. So look forward to seeing you guys on Thursday. Have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you then.